Welcome back to Boring Reviews.
Boring land.
Oh, just kidding.
Blasphemer!
Hello, right. Boring Review Nation!
Kind of pointless.
We know all things.
All right, welcome back to Boring Reviews. Nick here.
Jodi there.
And we are here for another...
Pirates of the... Oh, just kidding. Pitch meeting. Pitch meeting.
You set them up and you don't knock them dead.
But the pitch meeting we are watching is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? I'm honestly curious because I say Caribbean. I've heard Caribbean many, many times. Let me know. Let us know. Does it not really matter? Is it tomato, or does it really matter? Is it really tomato? Does anyone say tomato? I mean, if you're not, I mean, not in America, but does anyone in America say tomato?
I would like a tomato.
Nevada. Don't say Nevada.
Do not say Nevada if you come to Nevada. Everybody outside of Nevada calls it Nevada, but the true Nevadans say Nevada.
I mean, it's like the whole David Mitchell thing all over again. But we're excited to check this out because this first movie was absolutely fantastic. We watch it like every year or so because you just get so excited. There's so many great jokes when he comes in on a sinking ship and he goes right onto the port.
I love it.
And it's like, he's like, you got to pay to port that. And he's like, really? And there's like a little stick sticking out of it. So many great, like when he steals the ship and there's so many great parts of the movie.
That's got to be the best pirate I've ever seen.
So it would seem. I love that line too because he's like, oh, that's the worst pirate ever. Is it really? But we're excited to check this out because I want to know what he has to say about it.
Yeah.
Because this first one's great. You're going to make fun of the fact that it was based off a ride and you're going to make fun of the, Johnny Depp's like whole thing or whatever.
Yes. Bring on the plot holes.
There's really not too much you can say, and I'm excited because he'll figure out something. Please don't forget, if you like our video in any way, to
like and subscribe. 90% of you guys are not subscribing, so please, please, please subscribe. It definitely helps our channel. And go ahead and hit that notification bell so you can be aware of our next upload of videos.
Indeedy. Here we go.
So, you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's a very exciting idea. Oh, boy. Yeah, I thought we could base a movie on one of those slow-moving boat ride attractions at Disney World. Oh. Okay, that doesn't sound super exciting. Oh, it's gonna be, though. We could get one of the main actors to pretty much do a Keith Richards impression, a lot of mumbling. Okay, so like a guitarist in his late 50s going about 2 miles an hour just kind of looking at stuff. No, the Disney ride's just a jumping off point. We're gonna build an adventure movie around that. So what ride are we talking about here? Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean. One of those pronunciations, sure. Sure. So we're gonna meet this little girl, Elizabeth Swan, right? And she's helping out this kid, Will Turner, who they found in this big shipwreck caused by pirates. Oh, boy. And she sees this pirate medallion of his and she keeps it. Okay. So years later, this guy Norrington wants to marry Elizabeth and he knows her very well. How? Because he's known her since she was a small child. Oh my God. But Elizabeth has a crush on Will and he has a crush on her. And what's his deal now? Well, he's a blacksmith now and he's always walking around saying stuff like, Elizabeth. Gotcha. So then Elizabeth falls into the ocean because her corset was too tight and that medallion sends this magical pulse out into the ocean. Oh, it does? Yeah, and turns out it called to these cursed pirates on this ship called the Black Pearl. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. So then Elizabeth is saved by this wacky pirate guy named Jack Sparrow who showed up in Port Royal earlier. Keith Richards. Keith Richards, and even though he saved her life, everybody wants to kill him because he's a pirate. Very rude. Yeah, so he goes on this crazy, daring escape where I disregard physics and probabilities and all that boring crap for a bit. You gotta disregard that stuff sometimes. It is more fun that way, but as he's escaping, he's gonna encounter Will Turner. Oh yeah? Yeah, and Jack's gonna go to leave, but Will's gonna throw a sword into the door and lock him in the workshop with them. Why? To kill him, because he frickin' hates pirates. He doesn't know that he kind of is one. Why didn't he throw his sword at Jack then? Well, that'd be pretty messed up. You can't get somebody when their back is turned, I guess. So then they have this big sword fight that ends with Jack getting knocked unconscious by Will's boss. Oh, instantly unconscious. That's definitely some brain damage, right? No, it's that wacky kind of head trauma where your eyes cross and you get up a bit later completely fine. Oh, that's the best kind of head trauma. So Jack gets put in a jail cell, and while he's in there, the evil pirates show up and they just go nuts around town. Whoa. Yeah, so Will throws an axe at one of them, gets hits him right in the back. Wait, if he throws an axe at this guy's back, why didn't he throw that sword at Jack? Well, this other pirate's not a main character, so. Oh. So then these pirates try to grab Elizabeth, and she puts up a fight by dropping some hot coals on them, but they manage to get her eventually. Oh, hot coals are hot. They sure are, sir. Then Will's gonna get some wacky head trauma too, and some pirates are gonna recognize Jack. Oh, how do they know him? Well, turns out he used to be captain of the Black Pearl till there was a mutiny led by this guy Barbossa. Okay. And then Jack's gonna see that when they're hit by moonlight, they turn to skeletons. Oh, now those are spooky. They sure are, sir. Yeah, so I guess Elizabeth and everybody else around town see some skeletons too? No, Jack's the only one in town that sees this. But if there's moonlight, well, it's a cloudy night. I guess, you know, the moonlight was just hitting this one specific spot in the jail cell and nowhere else. Oh, sniper moons are tight. Yeah. So what is the deal with this curse anyway? That's not a stand-up bit. I do want to know. Well, see, they stole some Aztec gold belonging to this guy Cortez, and this stuff was cursed by the heathen gods. Oh, cursed how? Well, now they can't die or taste or feel, and when there's moonlight, they turn to skeletons. Well, as I said earlier, those are spooky, but how'd that pirate earlier get burned by the coals if they can't feel things? I don't know. Fair enough. So anyway, to lift the curse, they need to return the final medallion with the blood of the person who stole it. And who stole this last coin medallion thing? Will's father, Bootstrap Bill, but they tossed him in the ocean. Very rude. So now they want Will's blood? Exactly. But see, when they kidnap Elizabeth onto their ship, she's like, my name is Elizabeth Turner. So they're like, oh, this is Bootstrap Bill's son. What? So then Barbossa has this nice dinner for Elizabeth, and she is just starving. I thought they couldn't eat. Why do they have fresh food lying around their ship? Unclear. So then Barbossa's gonna explain the whole curse to Elizabeth, and his whole crew's gonna do this little choreography that they clearly put a lot of work into. Good to have hobbies. And so back at Port Royal, Will's gonna help Jack escape so they can go save Elizabeth. Gonna be hard for them to get out of there without a ship. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, they trick the entire crew of this one ship to go onto another ship, and then they just sneak onto theirs and take it. The entire crew of a ship got onto another ship. Every single crew member, sir. I feel like that doesn't make sense. Well, that may be, but it's gonna drive the story forward. Well, okay then. So eventually the pirates are gonna try to lift the curse using Elizabeth's blood, but she's gonna be like, I lied about my name, you dummies. Right, okay, they just want to be mortal again though, right? Yeah, those dummies. So then what happens? Well, then there's gonna be this big ship battle, and Will is gonna strike a deal with the pirates. And what's the deal? Well, he gets them to set Elizabeth and Jack free, but Barbossa's sneaky, so he just maroons them on an island. A very sneaky pirate. Yeah, but then Elizabeth sets a bunch of rum on fire, and they get rescued by her father and that guy who wants to marry her. Gross. So then Jack stops Barbossa from killing Will, right? Right. And he like playfully picks up some coins and tosses them back in the chest, but secretly keeps one, so he's cursed now. He can't die. Technically, wouldn't he be cursed no matter what since he didn't return those other coins with his blood? Technically, yeah, but nobody notices that. Oh, okay, great. So then he has this big sword fight with Barbossa, and he does this fun skeleton reveal, and then he shoots him just as Will drops the final medallion into the chest. Wow. Yeah, and so that's the end of the curse, but people still want to hang Jack, because he's still a pirate. Yeah, I guess he is. But then frickin' Will bursts in to save them. He throws a sword just beneath his feet, so he does this balancing thing. Why didn't he throw the sword at the rope itself? I don't know. Yeah, this guy doesn't really give much thought into where he throws weapons, huh? I guess not. So then Will and Elizabeth help Jack escape. Amazing. And so Jack gets a ship and a crew. There's a cowboy there. It's a great time. What? And so yeah, that's about it. What do you think? Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. We're gonna have to get somebody really good to play Jack Sparrow, though. Definitely, sir. Someone that's gonna be synonymous with the franchise. Somebody we wouldn't think of replacing.
Yeah.
Hi, Ryan here. Thanks.
There's been a lot about that, actually.
Explain that, because I don't know anything about that.
Well, with that joke, it's interesting because Johnny Depp was in it for
years.
4 or 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was the whole, drama with, who's that? I can't remember that one.
His wife?
Yeah, whoever it was that was going after him. Amber Heard. And so then it was like, oh, we can't be associated with someone that beats their wife or whatever, which was not how it came out. But so they X'd him, like, oh, we want you to come back. In the meantime, they had Margot Robbie. She was going to do the next Pirates movie. But since then, I've heard that I think they canceled that too. So I don't know what they're doing. But it's not like the last few were really that good anyways.
No.
Where like you have to watch them.
I don't even know if I watched the last one.
I don't think you have either. Yeah. I've seen them all. And I remember watching the last one. I think with Barbossa was in it. And with the kids. And, it's okay. It's somewhat believable. And it's somewhat entertaining until like the last 2/3 is really boring. And it's this crazy like underwater fight, if I remember correctly.
Oh geez.
But anyways, the first one's great.
Yes.
The second one is good enough.
Yeah.
The third one's really boring, but it has some interesting parts. Then after that, it goes off the rails. But it's just like Transformers. The first one was great, and the other ones can never live up to the hype.
Yep.
That cowboy thing's really funny. I was trying to watch. It's really, really quick.
I didn't
Or if
see
that was
it.
like an extra. I barely saw it too, but I don't want to watch this while we're recording. So after that, I'll look at it again. But looks like maybe some extra stand-in or something. Someone forgot someone was there. Or
no.
maybe forgot to change the hat or whatever. But a lot, a lot of what he said is definitely true. Some of the things I'm not too worried about, like the concussion, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But where he's throwing his knife or his sword, absolutely. He throws the axe in the back of that one pirate because he's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
He's a more mean pirate or whatever.
It's not the main character.
And the one thing you miss, and everyone's seen this movie, I'm assuming, that's seen this reaction. So I'm taking this way too seriously. But one thing you miss from this is just how good Johnny Depp is in the role.
Yes. He's so good.
I mean, even in the first three, but especially this first one, he's just picture perfect. The thing about the coin did kind of confuse me, like where he just takes it and he automatically has those. I always thought, like, okay, if you had to take it at the time of when you took it, not just any time you grab it, you're going to be this or that, because that would be Elizabeth Swann. She'd be able to do whatever she wanted.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
And I don't think anyone ever tries to kill her.
But you're right. She would be. She'd be like a
And
skeleton.
in the moonlight,
at
you'd
night
be
and
like,
stuff.
what's going
You
on?
are so true. Right. Yep. Because if that happened to Johnny Depp, it would have happened to her too. Unless because she's not the one who stole it, she's not cursed.
Could be. I mean, it could be because he does technically take it. That's a good point right there. Didn't think about that. But I think it was Will's dad. Yes, you might be onto something right there. But still, absolutely hilarious, absolutely fantastic. I love the Moon Sniper line. That was brilliant. Every time he says tight, it's like one of his best lines he saves it for.
That's tight.
And one, I could be wrong, but when they steal the ship, when he says barely an inconvenience, that happened beforehand, right? Not when he escaped from jail?
No.
Or no,
They
'cause Will's
escape
with
from
them.
jail, and then they go underneath the little boat under the water,
Yeah.
and that little thing gets caught and follows them. The little, like, box net to catch fish. Anyways,
thanks so much for watching our reaction to this. If you like our reaction, we have several other pitch memes that we reacted to. Please go ahead and check those out. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.
goodbye.